Our player tip of the podcast is don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Should we be changing that? Because some of the tips we come up are very dickish. Maybe we'll
I
have
think
to
it's
come
more
up with
like-
something else.
Well, let's be real here. Don't be a dick is a good tip. What do you do after that?
That's fair
up to
enough.
you.
That's fair enough. So if Crit Nation out there's got a better concept or name, let me know. Today we're going to be talking about Bardic guidance. Ability checks are plentiful and healthy for a game of D&D.
Yeah.
Whether it's during exploration, in the midst of combat, or in the middle of a conversation, dungeon masters are sure to ask their players to make an ability check at one point or another. Sometimes these crucial roles can be the difference between sneaking into an enemy's underground lair unnoticed or rousing the unwanted attention of the entire force. Talk about bad timing for a natural one, right? It's cases like these that make the combination of bardic inspiration and guidance so influential. Did you know that they stack? You can use them together. A player receives an additional 1d6 and a 1d4 to add to their ability checks. That can be the significant difference between success and failure. Because think about it. Even with a stealth check, for instance, let's assume a character has no modifiers and they roll a 1. They still have a chance to get an 11 on the roll, which is far better than not having those at all. So my question to you guys are, what are some other features you think that would benefit from this?
You mentioned stealth. Really any skill check can benefit from this. So Arcana stuff that can be handy. Some religion checks, survival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that works.
What about someone who's hanging for dear life over a cliff edge, but they have levels of exhaustion, so that kind of need that inspiration?
Ooh, they would need that boost, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Exhaustion is brutal, and having this can really definitely offset the penalties that you get there, especially with disadvantage. And there's a myriad of different abilities that can stack on this. There's a magic spell called Enhanced Strength, I think, or Enhancement, that allows you to get like advantage, right? So you can stockpile these things on top of each other to get really high skill checks, which is why I think that it's always important. We've talked about this on the show before, that the DM set a DC. Don't just decide something's impossible. If you can avoid it, try to set a DC instead, because characters will combine powers to get to that level of achievement, and they should, right? You should reward that. I'm just imagining you've got the paladin is hanging over the edge of something, right? He's exhausted. He's been hiking for miles in his big armor. He's hanging from there. He's got disadvantage. The bards bust out his lute, plays a song. Come on, you can do it. Pull yourself right up right now. While the cleric is praying to his deity, please give him a lift, give him extra hand spikes or something, and then having somebody else cast an enhanced spell to enhance their strength. All that compiles into what would have been probably a potential failure, and it's so much more rewarding than relying on just a single roll. You know what I mean? So all right. I think that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.